should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What are my rights?
What are my rights?
What are my rights?
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal morse of action.
I still can't believe you just said that, Erin.
It's like one of the first times I've seen it.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, welcome to a brand new episode of Legal Morse of Action. My name is Patricio, and today we have the full staff here. Erin, I think we're doing this kind of like the Brady Bunch style, right?
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? Let me do this.
This is what Zoom court looks like.
It does tend to be a little bit hectic, but we're going to do it. So today's episode,
It's fine. I'm in control.
we have the entire staff of Legal Morse of, or no, not Legal Morse, the law office of Erin Morse. We got from the receptionist down to the paralegals, operations manager, associate attorney. We got everybody here. So we're going to start it off like this. And I hate to do this to you, Mary, but we're going to introduce Kyle first. Kyle, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do.
Hello, I'm Kyle. I feel like I'm echoing massively,
Go ahead. Mute your
but
speaker.
I'm partial paralegal, partial operations guy. So, also a lawyer. Thanks to Patricio.
And now we're going to hand it off over to Lindsay.
Hi.
Lindsay, tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Lindsay and I'm a billing specialist. Woo!
Okay, I love the energy right now. We're going to go over to Letitia. I mean, not Letitia, Dee.
Oh, hi. My name's Evie. I'm the receptionist.
And of course,
Letitia. I'm an attorney here.
and then this one right here.
I'm Mary. I'm the paralegal.
All right, and now we have introduced everyone here at the firm. But of course, the one and only, the incomparable, and where I can't find you. There we go.
Probably not there.
Erin, how you doing today?
I'm okay.
I know we literally did this about 45 minutes ago, and I tried to get everything set up technically, but we have everyone here.
All right. It happens last minute. Today we had a good accomplishment. We cleared out the email inbox. So shout out to Lord Kyle for that. It was hard to do.
How many emails did you actually have? Like, that were... Because I know you get a lot throughout the day. And it's not just accumulation, it's just a lot throughout the day.
I have a couple of filters and like rules in my inbox that move certain items into automatic inboxes.
Okay.
So if we didn't do that, I'd probably receive 150 to 200 emails a day.
Ugh. Lindsay, with you being in billing, do you see the same amount of emails per day or like a fraction?
Yeah, fraction. Most of them go to admin, so.
So what is it that you actually do when it comes to billing here at the firm? Give us a little bit like more detail.
Really anything financial questions that people have regarding bills, start to finish from case.
And how long have you been working in the billing field?
I thought you were about to ask me how long I've been here. 4 or 5 years?
4 or 5 years? What got you to get into finances?
I don't know. I mean,
It
just
found
kind of
you.
happened. Yeah.
I can see you're a tad bit nervous, aren't you?
No, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you.
And what about you? Okay. I need to find out where the voice camera is coming from. Stand by. It was Mary. I got an idea. Here's what we're gonna do.
Did you just kick her out?
I did not kick her out. She's still there, but I'm gonna have Mary mute everything in regards to speaker and what do you call
She
it?
won't be able to hear us.
Oh yes, she will. 'Cause I'm gonna call her.
All right. We do this in court too, when one of the people has like difficulty with their sound. We're like, mute everything, Colin.
Where is Mary? There we go. All right, so Mary, if you could hear me, I'm going to call you on my cell and just pick up through there, and then
Sounds like we're gonna do a prank call.
go ahead and
Mary,
mute the
you're live.
mute the speaker on your computer, like completely. All right, and now we can actually hear you through the telephone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, actually a lot clearer now.
Yeah, it does sound good.
Thanks.
Okay, so Mary, what is it that you do?
Everything.
I'm just I'm just a paralegal. I draft a lot of the stuff and I prep for the majority of the hearings or trials.
And how long have you been in the legal field?
3 years.
Was it something that you kind of just like fell into, or was it something that you wanted to pursue?
I just fell into it. I got my degree in business.
Awesome. Usually when Erin and I do like the back and forth, you know, we're filling dead
Yeah, I
air.
talk a lot though.
We do talk a lot. We all talk a lot.
So
Well, you know what? Let's bring it over to. I feel maybe Letitia is gonna have some stuff to say. Letitia, how about you? What is it that you do?
I am an attorney
Okay.
and I practice family law here.
And how long have you been working as an attorney?
2 years.
2 years. And what got you into the legal field?
I would say I became an attorney because I didn't have what it takes to become a police officer.
Oh.
So
So-
yes.
wait, you think it's less hard to be an attorney than it is to be a police officer?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
think
do.
it would be harder to be a police officer?
Yes, I do. And I say that because my dad was a police officer.
Okay.
So I was interested in that for like a hot second, right?
I'm not saying it's not more dangerous.
So yeah, then yeah.
Um,
I can't keep putting my life, you know,
I
this
don't-
way every day. I can't.
But like law school's never like the easy path.
It's
So,
not
like,
easy,
you know, I think
but
I-
guess what? You're at the comfort of your desk in a classroom,
Okay.
you know, and you learn, you study. You know, it's different from when you're out there in the forest.
I agree on safety.
Yeah, so that's my biggest thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
then I accept that answer.
I'm glad you
But
said
but
that.
if you were like, no, it was easier to be a lawyer, and I was like, were you even there?
I do think that, okay, safety.
Okay.
I'll be more specific. But I was interested in doing that for like a hot second.
Okay.
And then that passed quickly. And then that's when I decided to become an attorney. I was interested initially in criminal,
Oh, okay.
but it shifted towards family law. So,
Well, I mean, things always change throughout life. Now, Dee Dee, you're actually in school right now, wanting to pursue a career in law. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what's it like right now at this level or at this point in your life?
It's like very different. It's a shift because like I've been doing like I'm so used to customer service, right? So like being actually in the legal field, it's like okay, hold on, this is like not what I thought it was gonna be, but like y'all made it like very comfortable for me to like do that transition. So like appreciate y'all.
So have you ever worked in the legal field before?
No.
Okay, so this was your first time at a law firm.
Yeah.
Is it different than what you expected it would be like?
Yeah, cause like so I used to work at like a call center, and like when I would tell
Speaking
them,
to the mic.
I used to work at a call center, and so when I would tell them like, oh, I wanted to work at, you know, eventually I'm gonna leave y'all, I'm gonna go work at a firm, like as soon as
No one's goal is to stay at a call center.
But that's not what they believe. So, so I would tell them like, as soon as one calls me, I'm gonna be gone. They're like, that's fine, but they would be like, oh, but you know, what environment is gonna be this fun? Like, you're gonna be filing paperwork. It's gonna be boring and all this, and like they were just trying to talk it down. And I'm like,
Of course.
I don't think it's gonna be like that. Like, I don't think it's gonna be like what y'all see on TV, because I feel like that's what they're basing it on. So I'm like,
No, a lot
Well,
of
it's a
law
law
firms
firm,
sucks
but-
to work at.
really? Okay, well, I'm glad I got here.
So what about you, Kyle? Like, what got you into the legal field?
Are you calling on me?
Yes.
What got me into the
He's-
legal field?
You're gonna have to speak to him by his lordship.
Oh yes, Lord Kyle.
Damn
Lord
right.
Shuffle.
put some respect on my name. What got me into it? Pretty much, I watched that. What is that movie? The Jerry Maguire movie. When I was
Jerry
like
Maguire.
8 years old, and I saw him be a sports agent, and I said, "That's what I want to do." So I knew I had to go either get my MBA or get my JD. So I went JD because I figured I could do more things with a JD than an MBA. So went that route. And that's pretty much what made me go into the legal field.
Gotcha. And now, Lindsay, where are you? Here we go. Did you expect what you're seeing here at a law firm when you came into the law firm?
Yeah, I've been at law firms prior, and mine was pretty much, I would say Erin's cooler, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty laid back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were a family for sure.
She's only
but-
saying that because I'm sitting next to her.
No, not at all. But
Really
yeah,
awkward.
so it wasn't too far off from what I already experienced.
Oh, okay. So, Mary, with your experience in law in the field of law, I should say, do you think that working in a law firm is completely different than working, other 9 to 5 style jobs?
Absolutely. The law field's a lot more work, and it's constant. You meet people at the worst part in their lives. So to them, everything is extremely traumatic. So you have to be able to comfort them, help them, be patient, and also know that you have to figure out the right way to help them and be able to cater to them whenever they need it, which is a lot different than, say, being a waitress, where they like leave in 30 minutes. These people you deal with for a year or 2 years, or if it's a criminal case, you're dealing with them for 3 or 4 years where they don't know if they're going to prison or not, so it's completely different in my opinion.
We got Suba jumping into the chat saying, "Smack my ass and call me Sally. Look at all my friends." Do you feel that you have to be a certain style of person or have a certain style of mentality to be able to work in the law field?
Yes, I think you have to be able to multitask really well. For example, me and Kyle, we both work on probably 10, 15 cases a day where we're juggling multiple tasks for each case every single day. And at any point in time, we'll get a Teams message or a phone call. And we have to drop what we're doing and hop to something else. So in order to succeed in the legal field, in my personal opinion, you'd have to be able to be flexible and time manage really well and be okay with doing a bunch of things at the exact same time and be able to mentally keep track of all of it.
I have to comment on the fact that I've worked in law firms since I was at least 20. So I'm looking at about 14 years in the legal field. And Kyle and Mary are definitely the best at managing all of that because we have a pretty heavy caseload.
Oh, definitely.
And they manage it beautifully. We're putting people in their place. They're acting on my behalf, and I don't have to micromanage them at all. And they are the kind of personalities that do best without that micromanagement.
I will say this from working with you for almost 2 years and seeing the change that has been going through this office. I feel like it's a smoother.
0 emails on a Thursday. What? That was amazing.
It's a lot smoother. It's
Yeah.
a lot smoother with the team that we have right now because, just like you said, there's no need for micromanaging. And I think when micromanaging becomes a factor in the workplace, the scrutiny and just the pressure of having to do everything that needs to be done in the day, you have a lot more errors. You have a lot more mistakes going on throughout the day. And here, when there is a mistake, we address it quickly.
Yeah, mistakes are going to happen, and that's okay. That's par for the course. But I really appreciate how my staff handles it. They're like, oh, hey, this happened. How do we fix it? They just come forward with it. And I'm like, cool, that sucks, but let's fix it.
Yeah.
All right, I know how to fix this. This is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's on fire, but it's fine.
I will say this: there was a situation that happened a few weeks ago here, where something was not where it needed to be, and then we had to rush, literally drop everything what we were doing to get where everything needed to be. At previous firms, I've seen that happen, and I've seen the entire firm just lose their shit, lose their minds because like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen now? We addressed the situation. We saw what was wrong. We immediately fixed it, and I think the client and everyone else, we did good
Yeah.
in that little amount of
Seems
time.
seamless. It's okay. This stuff is going to happen. It's too much to manage, too much expectation of perfection for there not to be some kind of a mistake. I had that trial last December where the judge just lost my binder.
Oh
And
yeah.
was like, I don't have your evidence, so you can't present any of it.
Mary's smiling right there. You remember that trial?
The evidence I sent in twice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
And a lot of times,
I still won, by the way. You can write that down.
Yeah.
there's always going to be that little error in someone's case, and sometimes it does happen from the court. Like right there, the court losing a binder, or the court not properly noticing parties for a hearing, because that's happened a lot for us. And when we have to show that evidence to the court, like, hey, you guys didn't really tell us on time
Yeah.
to be there for this hearing, But this is what I love about the legal field, because it's always changing. It's never a dull day here at this office. And Lindsay, with you dealing with the finances with people, like what are some of the give me a funny story that you've had to deal with here at the firm.
There was one time that I get people that are like in drive-throughs a lot, and I call them just randomly throughout the day because I don't want to do a collections call or whatever right in the morning. Nobody wants to hear about that.
Yeah.
So I wait around a little bit, like in the late afternoon, 1 p.m. And I always just get people in the drive-thru, and they're like ordering their food, like, hold on 1 minute, and they end up hanging up on me, and they just don't care. But
Lindsay does a great job with keeping our bills and collections tidy, because that's another really hard part about this.
It's the
Lifeblood?
yeah, you literally just said it right there. And Dee Dee, with you going from a call center to a law firm, like what's one of the funny experiences that you've dealt with, working in the law field?
I've been here for like such a little time, and like I've already so much has happened. Like I think it's just the type of clients that call in, because like everybody, their case is important, right? Like their life is important.
They're the only
Yes,
ones.
it's the only one. And like, I dealt with that at the call center I work with, because like, it's my issue I needed to fix right now. But like, I think like one of the funniest things is like, people don't want to pay for the quality. Like they know like, okay, I've seen Attorney Morris. I've heard Attorney Morris. Like I hear like she's gutter, like she will come through and she will clear out the courtroom, right? But then it's like, yeah, all right, so the consultation be $300, boop, like hang up, like, oh, okay. Like I had one guy call and I told him about the consultation, right? It was him and I think his mom. His mom was fine. I thought she was gonna pay for it, and we're like, okay, yeah. He's like, all right, cool. I get all his information, name, email address, all that. So I'm like, all right, boom, time for the payment, and he hangs up on me. So I'm like, no, I don't. Maybe he got disconnected, right? Like, so I called
It
him back,
happens.
and he's like, all y'all want is money. Stop calling me. And he hung up, and I was just so confused. I was like, did we call you and say, like, I sat there for 2 minutes. I was just like, I don't think I called him. I'm pretty sure he called us. So I was like, okay, well that was weird. So I was like, okay.
The $300 fee does its job.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does.
And then it goes towards like the retainer and everything. So it's like, it's not like you're giving us $300 and
Well, not for nothing. If $300 shocks you, just wait till you hear my retainer. Wait till
We
you
actually
hear what
just
it
had
takes to
someone
get me
say
involved.
$300 is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it is something we addressed on the show previously, where it's an investment. It's an
Yeah.
investment into ease of mind, and finally, getting your family and yourself to your new normal.
Well, we had a client who just became a client, and he told me he was referred by somebody who like was an opposing party, and I went to court against them, and like I kicked his ass in court. And he was like so embarrassed he wouldn't give me the name of who it was.
Oh my God.
He's like, he doesn't want me to tell you. He's like, but you did so good that I know I needed you. So he obviously understood the value.
Oh no, definitely.
We also have the new wave of all these clients that consulted with us, went with a different attorney, and now they want us back to undo what their attorney screwed up.
Amen. I've had about 6 of those recently. That they were like, oh, you were too expensive. They went with somebody less expensive, and then they're like, I really messed up.
Yeah.
I had one of those cases that I had the hearing on Friday, and she had done that. She was like, well, you were kind of expensive, so I went with this person, who is also well-known but has a lower fee. And she was like, he's telling me all these things about my case that I think is wrong. I don't believe him. He won't do this. He won't do that. I went to the hearing. And even though, prior counsel, opposing party, he's opposing party now. All were telling her that she had a losing position. And there was like this one fact about her case, an arrest that she had, that I was like, I'm going to use the video from that arrest to get his injunction entered. And I did. I played that and I was like, Your Honor, how do you interpret this basically? And she was like, him being abusive to her. And it was entered, despite what every other attorney was telling her.
It's a good
But it was
win.
much more expensive because I had to clean up.
Letitia, have you actually had to deal with someone who you had consulted beforehand? They go somewhere else and they come back to you?
Well, I just been here like 2 months. So, no, but I've dealt with, when I was in Miami, people who will have a consultation. They'll get the pricing, and then they're like, yeah, you know what, basically, listen, I want a great attorney, but I'll try maybe mediocre, So they'll go, they'll just, kind of go away, and then they'll come back, and I'm like, listen, this is not working out. So can we go ahead and hire you? So that has happened. But, that's just the nature of the game, I think.
I think it's worth mentioning that since Dee Dee's been here, of the receptionists we've had, especially during their, the beginning of their time here, she hasn't had any, major breakdowns or allowed people to, frustrate her or take it personally. That's, a really good sign.
Because you work at a call center. So
Yeah.
you
Right.
have to have a backbone dealing with people about their bills.
Especially because I was in sales, so it's it's pressure. They'll be like I was probably one of the top sellers, right? So you could have a good month, and then the next month maybe I'm not feeling it, or people are broke. That's the thing too. Or people have bad credit. I can't sell you anything if you don't have the credit to back it up, and you just won't sell. And then they'll sit there and be like, well, what's going on? Why aren't you selling? I can't. I'm trying, but I can't. And then they'll be like, well, do we need to write you up? It goes straight to that. Do we need to write you up? Do you need to be on discipline? Because I'm not selling to people who don't have money. So it's I think I've I'm not gonna lie, I had emotional breakdown there because it's just what do you want me to do? But I think it's a lot different. I feel it's a lot more there than it is here. So it's nothing anybody here is gonna say to me is gonna faze me in any way. I'm not gonna have a meltdown. It's okay, and I'm actually here to learn, right? Because I've never been in this type of field before. So if you're telling me okay, girl, you did that wrong, I'm gonna be okay, what do I need to do right? How do I need to do it the correct way? Because I don't want y'all to let me go. So what do I need to do?
And you did learn her name the first week.
I did, actually. That's a good sign.
I was so happy because Sam came up to me. I'm not gonna lie, I thought y'all was gonna let me go one day because Sam came up and he just kind of sat down and I done heard how many receptions y'all already went through. So I was Sam came up, I said, okay. So Sam was like, no, you're doing great. I was like, all right, let me put my stuff down. And then he was like, Erin knows your name. I was like, she did call me Dee Dee, didn't she?
I can vouch for that because when I was in the office, peeked through the door, and I saw him kind of lean over. So I stopped what I was doing, right? I was like, oh. So then I heard, oh, yeah, you're doing a good job. I was like, oh, okay, let me close my door. Never mind, I'm over it.
So it was like, no, if it was that kind of talk, I would actually talk to you privately for a minute. I'm like, okay, noted.
If we're telling you, I'm a big like processes and procedure person. So if we're telling you about that, if we're taking the time to, I won't take the time to do that with someone who I think is like not resolvable. I'm like, that's a waste of my time. I just won't do it. It's silly. So if we're saying, hey, this is what could improve, this is what we want to change, this is what was a mistake, it's actually a really good thing. Because I'm like, oh, since you're doing a good job, this thing gets corrected. And I'm also always trying to improve our processes and procedure. So there are definitely times where I'm like, hey, I think we could change this and do adjust how this is done so it's more efficient for everybody. So if I'm having those conversations, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, he showed me, like, I guess you made like a list and then you
Yeah.
printed some stuff out. And I said, when does she have time to do this? Because I'm like, Erin has no time. So it's like, she actually took some time out to do this. I'm like, okay, I guess I
Yeah.
am staying, so like, it's fine.
Yeah, and that's,
I
the
am
idea.
going to stop real quick because I know Lindsay has a volleyball game. And Kyle, if you're able to, would you be able to swap out and sit over here with us while Lindsay gets out of here? Would that be cool, Lindsay?
Oh, yeah, I can sit here all you want.
So, Kyle, if you can,
I know that face, so if he wants to sit at his computer, I understand him.
you want to stay at your computer, Kyle? Okay.
I know his face. I know him. What did we put on his cards?
Oh,
the ops guy?
The ops guy.
Yeah, he really is the guy. Kyle is great because every so often I just hand him something I'm like, listen, not really in your job description, but I need your help with this. And I'm just like, here you go, help. And he's like, no problem. And he handles it.
As Lindsay does head out, I do want to say she is one of the coolest people I've had the pleasure of working with in regards to billing and just in general. Because the first time I met her, and she just came in, literally the first week, she figured it out. She knew what she was doing.
I know, she's real efficient.
She picked up so quick.
It's really good.
Her and Emma, like I had that term. I kept calling them stallions because they were just so incredible. And I just got to give my shout out to Lindsay because she comes in every day, no issues, gets the job done, and goes kick a ball and goes to do sports right after work.
I have a lot to do.
That's okay. Do your thing. Do the things that make you happy.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.
Thank you.
We are looking for a female to play kickball with us. Can you put an ad out for me?
You need a female?
Yeah,
Right here, I'll come.
to play kickball every Monday.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I need something. Flag football season's like not playing right now, so.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so you were for real when you were saying about the flag football.
Yeah, why would I joke about that?
I don't know.
That's not funny.
We don't ever joke about flag football.
No. Yeah, it's like an all girls league.
I do want to say to Dee Dee, happy birthday because
Thank you.
yesterday we did.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
couldn't make it. I had to go pick up Connor.
That's okay.
We celebrated your birthday yesterday. We had a great time.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't want to see me in that state anyway.
You did it.
Listen, I can't stay out late on a school night. I get tired and...
You can't hang anymore.
No. How am I going to be here up early kicking ass?
Oh yeah, that's true.
If I'm out drinking late, I can't.
Lindsay, however, warned these two before coming to drink with me.
Yeah, you're a danger.
Listen,
We didn't take it seriously.
we didn't.
He's the kind of person that you're like, I'm out, no more questions, goodbye. You don't ask him, you tell him and then you leave.
Like Kyle did.
Or, yeah,
Yeah, Kyle.
Kyle
Ky-
knows.
yeah,
I'm a
Kyle's-
big Irish goodbye. You guys are lucky
I was
even
just
said
gonna
that.
say that.
And it's crazy. I
You
was
hit the
thinking-
nail on the head. I Irish goodbye Patricio all the time. You need to.
When Kyle gave me, first of all, Kyle, I still need to talk to you about that shot you gave me. He dropped the shot off, he took it, and he said deuces, like he was gone. So in my head, I was like, maybe I should leave with Kyle, and that I should have.
Yeah, we
I should have,
We should have.
because I said I only
have.
wanted two cups. I said 1.5. By the end of the night, she had me like what at 5?
We had five. We had 5 sangrias.
I used to have a rule that he can't bring the staff out on school nights.
Yes.
I see why.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. It's not gonna happen
I
again.
thought at one point it was like everybody gets just one time with Patricio, and
Yeah.
then that's it.
Yeah, y'all had it.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you know it has to be a Friday or Saturday, and you have to have no plans the next day.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I had 8 sangrias, plus
You
your
should not be
fiance.
advertising this.
My
level of
apologies. My apologies.
alcoholism.
My apologies. But finally met your fiance yesterday.
Yes.
Awesome dude.
Thank you.
I wish I could hear him, but we couldn't hear each other last night.
Yeah, it was really loud. Yeah.
For some odd reason, the speaker behind us was at full volume, and
You could walk away.
no, we couldn't.
There was no tables.
There were no tables.
It was crazy. But my my fiance.
So romantic.
My fiance's birthday was actually Tuesday.
Oh.
So we used yesterday
My
to
birthday.
go out. So it was like a double team, you know. Hang out with her for her birthday and then do dinner with my fiance for his birthday.
Yeah. Did you leave early enough?
Yeah. Yeah, we went
Okay.
to Crest. It was
Okay.
a nice restaurant.
That is nice.
Yeah. And you know, I had to leave Patricia.
You do.
Yeah.
No, I
Ooh,
left. I
Irish
left
goodbye.
before. I left before you.
Okay, but I had to like, okay,
Separate
this is going down south. Like, where's
Yeah.
my fiance? Let's
Yeah.
go.
But no, I love the camaraderie that we have here at the firm. I love to be able to reach out to anyone at this office because we're family here. And in the little time that you've been here, Dee Dee, and the little time that you've been here, Letitia, like you guys just like fit right in. And we were talking about this.
Well, I knew Letitia would.
Oh yeah.
When she applied and we had other applicants, I was like, I'll interview them. But
No, you know the funniest thing, I told my mom, I was like, listen, my old mentor is hiring. And I was like, I think I'm going to go ahead and apply. And she was like, that's good, you know. You think she remembers you? I said, I sure hope so. I hope she didn't forget about me like that.
What if she did? Who is this?
I was like, what's
That
your
one?
name?
I would hope not.
No, of course I did.
But no, we use this episode basically just to show everyone, who we are here.
Do we have questions today?
I did not prep the questions today
don't have questions?
because of the fact that everything just changed at the last second, and we were going to go a little back and forth with everybody.
Uh-huh.
But Mary, with your experience in family law, if you were going through a situation, like what would be one question that
We
you
should
would
have
ask?
Mary give advice on what the best way to like deal with being a client in a firm. Like what's the best piece of advice she could give to a client on like, I don't know,
Don't be an
Yeah.
asshole.
Talk
to the
nicely.
top of every list.
How to get the client to what?
What would be the piece of advice you would give to a client in how to have their best experience with a law firm? Not necessarily about their divorce, but something they could do to be helpful to their case.
I think it's really important that they remember that we're there to help them. So as much as it's hard to sometimes handle the emotional stress of everything, it's important to remember not to call law firm screaming at them or crying to where you can't understand what they're saying. The best way to handle it is just to know that we're there to help them and try to be patient with us, and we'll do everything we can to help them. So the best thing they can do is just have faith in us and have trust in us and know that if they contact us with an issue, we will address it. And just to have faith in us. This is what we do every day, even though I hope that most people don't go through multiple divorces in their lifetime, but we handle divorces or paternity actions every single day, multiple, so we know how to handle them and what needs to be done throughout the whole course of it. So just that faith in us is really important.
I would say let's throw that same question over to Kyle.
How to be a
Don't
good
be an
client.
asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know. Please don't call when I tell you I will respond to you repetitively. It's just, you're giving me nothing more than the will to not call you back. Like, you're going to push yourself further to the back of the burner, the more you agitate me after I've told you that I will absolutely get back to you. So that's probably the biggest thing, is just know that what you're paying for, you're getting the results, and you constantly harassing, it's either going to A, make me angry and push yours to the back of the burner, or B, it's going to just charge you more money because I'm going to now charge you for every email. I'm going to charge you for every minute of a phone call. I'm going to do everything that I'm legally allowed to do, but because you're an asshole, you're going to now pay the consequences.
And we're not using this platform to badmouth anybody. This is more of a like an awareness kind of thing to just let people know, hey, you want your case to move forward smoothly. This is how we do it. And I think everyone in this office knows I deal with a certain individual, and whose case finally closed this week. And I am so happy about that because I think it was 2 to 3 times a day with emails and text messages, and then I had sent my personal cell phone in an email to opposing counsel, and I forgot that I had included him as well.
Oh, I always forward.
Ooh, I have one more I forgot.
Ooh, okay, we're gonna give it to Kyle.
Don't tell me my legal work is incorrect because you Googled something. That would absolutely be a do not do as a client. So if you're so confident in Google, why did you pay for an attorney to do your work for you?
I have a mug that my aunt got me when I became an attorney, and it says, "Don't confuse your Google search with my law degree." Because, and it happened today, even though an attorney might know the law, just because you put some cases into a motion that say some words that kind of match, doesn't mean you did it right. And this particular attorney was like so far off that I think the judge called up our hearing annoyed with them. The judge literally argued with the attorney, how is this relevant? Your case law isn't on point. Attorney Morse put her case law right in the motion that she filed. You filed this objection, and all of this is related to a totally different topic. He goes, and I looked up all the case law I could possibly find on this topic, and the only cases that are relevant in the whole state of Florida are the 3 that Attorney Morse cited. Where did you go with this information? How is it relevant? I was like,
So Mary, because you're basically the border protection when it comes to client to attorney. Like you're the what's the best term I could use?
Bodyguard.
gatekeeper.
Yeah, you're the gatekeeper to Erin. And
Yeah.
like, how many times have you heard the term "it's an emergency"? It's an emergency.
Every single day, multiple times a day, everything's an emergency. Everything.
Yeah, I gave them a
Point.
little tidbit, and I'm like, tell them an emergency is the immediate loss of life or limb. That's how you
Yeah.
can figure out anything that's an emergency.
Yeah, I've had to explain to one client, only once have I had to explain this, where they just were so adamant that their case was an emergency. And I explained to them that I've personally filed an emergency motion in a different law firm where the minor child who is 7 years old, was getting beat every day, burned with cigarettes, like on the streets at night by himself because his mother was a prostitute, and he was defending himself with a screwdriver at night. And the judge is like, not an emergency. And we got a hearing 7 months later.
That's insane.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so-
think Mary's exactly on point. And the reason why the divorce and family law courts go, that's not an emergency, because the place for an emergency like that is the police, right?
Yep.
And DCF.
Yep.
So they're like, if DCF and the police are not taking action, what are we going to do?
Yeah. It's tough when a client does call in and whether they're in tears or they're upset, and it's out of our power. It's out of everyone's power at that point, because
I'll tell the judge what to do.
a lot of these decisions have to be made in a courtroom, by a judge. And unfortunately, the judge isn't going to get out of his bed at 7:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday to address your issue.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing I think it's important to mention is there are some states that have emergent matters, and they can get hearing same week within a couple days. That happens in Massachusetts. That the family court can get a hearing, like, oh, we have a hearing on Friday. It's Wednesday. I asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the fuck? How you get hearings like that? We had an interstate issue where there was a custody issue. Our judge didn't grant our emergency UCC JEA motion for 2 weeks. And that is an emergency because removal of the child from the jurisdiction is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, but their court, the court in Massachusetts, because I teamed up with a good friend, colleague of mine up there, and we went at them at both sides. They were able to get a hearing within 2 days. The reason why the judge ruled on my UCCJA motion was because I produced that order from Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
So I used Massachusetts to help my court here.
I will say this, and I've said this on previous shows, where in criminal, there are times that, there are things that you do to, to get your case going. And there are times, because the judge's dockets are completely different when it comes to criminal, that they may have to, open spaces that afternoon. It's just a simple call to the JA, and I'm like,
Wild.
hey, can I get a motion for bond real quick for such and such case? Yeah, the judge could give you 5 minutes. All right, perfect. That's all we need. And if the ASA is available, and we could just knock it out of the park that same day. I wish it was like that in family.
Our judges would laugh and laugh and laugh and not respond to our email.
Yeah, it would take 4 days to get a response for the email.
Yeah.
No, I'm currently waiting on. I have a case right now that because the judge has no available dates, I can't get it set. I can't do anything.
Our judges will just list no dates.
Yeah.
And you ask the assistant about it, and she's like, check back.
Yeah. And I have a client who messages me and calls me every day. Hey, are there dates? Hey, are there dates? And first thing I do in the morning, right after I turn on the computer, I go to that county, look at that judge's calendar. No, nothing. I'm sorry.
I was literally directed in one of our cases by the judge that they'll contact us when he wants to have our motions heard. And I'm not allowed to contact him to get it set. So that's cool.
You are, Mary, you are a bit of a tough one. I will say that.
She's great.
I know. Mary scares me sometimes.
I love it.
Sometimes.
I see it when Mary's like that, and I'm like, yeah. I think the only person scarier in the office is me.
Yeah. Hands down. But I know it's a little bit past everyone's bedtime here at the office. As we're about to leave, I want everyone just quick little thing, kind of like doing a little Thanksgiving. What do you like working? Why do you like working here?
Oh, this is.
You don't want to do that?
No.
Look,
I'm sitting right here.
Well, I would like to personally say that I'm thankful that Erin kept me on when my fiance got transferred. So I actually live in Alabama. I just moved here. And when I contacted Erin to tell her, like, hey, Todd's being transferred, she's like, well, you can work remotely. I was like, oh, great. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I was very happy you were willing to. So
she was answering calls when the movers were moving stuff.
I know. I was like, stop doing this.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The movers lost a lot of stuff, if y'all were wondering.
What?
Movers fuck up
Yeah,
every
and they
time.
stole quite a bit, so that was cool.
Oh my God, that's insane.
One time I had hired movers to move into my house, and they left all my stuff and furniture in the rain. So when we got it, like the next day, it was crinkly furniture.
See, this is why
I should throw it away.
I never hire movers. I call my cousins, I buy some pizzas, and they bring their trucks, and we can knock out a house in about 45 minutes.
Or you have to micromanage the shit out of them.
No, I just like, Mira, don't break it, man. Just go. God,
Handle it.
Gal, anything you want to say before we head out of here?
Um,
Lord Shuffle.
I definitely appreciative of being here to earn my lordship from you, Patricia, and obviously also continuing my legal education with Erin because I had no background in family law. I was just contracts pretty much specifically. So it's been interesting and fun to learn things and to think outside the box, and it's really impressive the way Erin's constantly has an answer for pretty much anything. So, and if it's not necessarily an answer, she's got an idea, a plan to see if it works, and 9 times out of 10, it works, as she explained today with that, our clients' video of them getting arrested. We actually, turned lemons in, or she turned lemons into lemonade. So, very impressive to, constantly being able to be educated, learning, and then also being in an environment that every day is different. So.
I'm gonna have Dee Dee do a little spiel.
I'm horrible at these. But I guess I'm like grateful that I lasted as long as I did. I'm thankful y'all didn't let me go, and thanks for trusting me, guys.
It doesn't have to be what you're thankful for. It's not Thanksgiving. It'd be something you find interesting about family law.
Something I find interesting is that it's just very like different from what I was expecting. So like I'm just happy to be able to be like, okay, I actually know what like the what is it called behind the scenes looks like. Like you don't, I don't never knew exactly like how family law worked. I just thought y'all sign some papers, y'all get divorced. I get to see like the whole step by step, and like Erin will break it down. Like I'll have a question and Erin be like, no, like this and this. Like, okay, now I know.
You get to see how the sausage is made.
What did you think it was going to be like? That's always what I wonder, because I started working at law firms really young. So I kind of always knew how this worked. So when I became a lawyer, I was like, I had some creative ideas, like Kyle was mentioning. Sometimes I take a very creative approach to the way that it's always been done. Typically, it's a successful endeavor, but you got to kind of be ballsy to do it.
Yeah.
So, what did you think it was going to be like?
I thought it was going to be like fast paced. I thought, well, you do have like a big client base, but I thought it was going to be like, y'all come in, y'all sign these papers, y'all divorce. All right, let's move on. Oh, you need your kid? Okay, let's prove that they're not liable to have the kid. We can prove that. Okay, boom, like that's it. But like, yeah, it's like evidence. It's like it's hard work. Like it's not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. And like to see you like work and to like hear like your clients talk about you, and then like the amount of food. I've been here 3 weeks. Somebody done bought me donuts. Like I'm like, okay, like to see like how you like change people's lives and like make it like the better, and like how happy they are, like they're basically skipping out the firm. I'm like, okay, well that's how it's supposed to be.
That is not how it's usually in firms.
Yeah.
I really do work really hard to like be honest with my clients. So what is going to happen is something they might have expected. Mm-hmm. So I try to give them all scenarios. Like, hey, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen.
And the one thing I gotta say about you is like you don't sugarcoat. I've worked at law firms where attorneys straight up just talk a fantasy, like, oh yeah, you're gonna get this, this, and this, and then when final judgment, they're just upset. But from day one, I mean, you prepare the client, you let them know, hey, you got this, so you better be ready to let go of this. Yeah. And that's actually the one thing I appreciate about you, because you're straight up. You're straight up. You don't bullshit. And in all the years that I've worked at law firms, I've been in the room during a consultation where I'm taking notes and I'm like, what did he just say? What? Oh, I'm just gonna write it down and I'm gonna ask him later. But no, it's been a really cool experience working here, because I remember when you first hired me, I told you I don't like family law. I didn't want to do family law, And
It's all right. I make you into the marketing guy.
and
I was like, heard.
the
You like podcasts?
I do. The one thing that I love about here is that like everyone had said, you're giving someone a brand new life, a brand new start, and the tears that have been shed of joy from our clients, just the outbursts of just joy that have come from them. It's really rewarding at the end of the day. And I say thank you to you, thank you to staff for helping us get there.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't do this for people if I didn't have as strong of a team as I have. I really couldn't. It couldn't happen. And there's a lot of times where the people who are working here are a good barrier. Because I'm like, if I get on the phone with him, he's not going to be fucking happy, right? There's some times where I can be more intense, and I have some good buffers.
Letitia, anything like you want to throw out there before we head out of here?
Just a unique observation. This isn't Thanksgiving.
Well, listen, Erin already knows.
Yeah.
I already told her how I reacted when I got hired. But I'm just excited to learn more about family law, and working with Erin, the way her perspective on things are just crazy sometimes. Because I'll be like, really? I never really looked at it like that, And then I was like,
I know which one you're talking about.
really? I was like, I told you. I was like, Patricia, I was like, listen, this is not going to work. I don't know.
And what did I tell you? Talk to Erin. Ask Erin.
I was like, all right. So then Erin comes in and she's like, well, you have to look at it like this. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I know your case you're talking about.
Yeah, so I know for a fact, working here, like, it's been almost 2 months. I know I'm going to learn so much from her. So I'm just ready to be a beast.
As we're closing out, Erin, do you have any final thoughts before we head out of here?
No, just thank everybody for being willing to stand beside me in this crazy world. When I'm like, hey, I've got a crazy idea for this case. And then I'm like, hey, look up case law on this. Usually I ask for case law in 2 ways. I know the case law says this, I just need to find the case. I can't remember what the case is. Or I'm like, ooh, I'm making shit up. And I think it's a good argument, but I don't know. Anyway, my laptop died.
Oh no.
So that's it.
With all that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to Legal Morse of Action. If you'd like to book a consultation with Attorney Morse or Attorney Fowler or anyone here at the Law Office of Erin Morse, 407-900-7451, or go to our website, morse-firm.com. We look forward to helping you find your new normal. We'll see you guys next week.
Look at Kyle.